What does the best 17 look like for the West Tigers in 2025? The Zero Tackle team here, we've made our call and we're going to break it down for you in this video. But before we do that, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. We've got plenty of videos coming out for you this year, all about NRL, pretty much every week. So you want to be a part of that. Now, all that being said, West Tigers, best 17, 2025, let's do it. Before we get into it, make sure you're set for the new season with Zero Tackle's 2025 NRL Season Guide. The comprehensive season guide features over 120 pages of dedicated, detailed footy content ahead of the 2025 season, with profiles of every single player, team previews, fixtures, recruitment reports, and much, much more. Best of all, it's free. Get it now from zerotackle.com. All right, and here to break down the best 17 for the West Tigers, Darren Parkin, Zero Tackle analyst. So, Darren, this is the year where the West Tigers will need to start actually pushing up the ladder, but can they do it with this list?
Yeah, a lot of changes. Could be as many as half a dozen new faces in their 17. I reckon they showed some solid signs in 2024. The win-loss record and the ladder might have looked similar for them, but it felt like they were a bit more competitive. They claimed a couple of scalps, and now they bring in some experience. Obviously, a lot of changes can at times unsettle you a little bit. But a couple of Penrith premiership players come in, some other versatile options. And yeah, I think they're certainly going to get better. And they'll start the climb. Even if they don't jump 10 spots, I think they'll improve.
All right, and as always, starting with the number one in fullback, we have the big Fijian, Jareem Bula.
Yeah, the Fijian rep, as you said, made a very promising start to his career. Should keep building as a youngish group. They can help work around him. There's going to be a lot of backup, though, in the event of injuries, which is a good thing. Adam Juahi, who we'll mention a little bit later on, Jack Bird can play in that role potentially. Charlie Staines probably the most likely to fill in from outside of the entire 17, though.
Yep. And then Gerald Skelton and Sunia Turuva as the wingers.
Yeah, and this is where Staines is unlucky to get bumped as a result of that. Gerald Skelton struggled for regular game time at the Bulldogs, but does have size and strength that could complement this pack, I think, overall. And Turuva, another of the new recruits from the Panthers, he's a guarantee. He was lured across with Jerome Luai, works very hard, tough, and can obviously score. So an important addition.
Yep. And then you mentioned him before, so Adam Dwahi and Justin Olam in the centres.
Yeah, Dwahi needs a bit of luck with injuries. Certainly in the best team if fit. He can play elsewhere, could take goal-kicking responsibilities as well. Naden and Lalili are waiting in the wings potentially to take those spots. And Justin Olam, interesting, former Dally M Centre of the Year, hasn't quite recaptured that magic since he came to the club, but will get another chance to do that though.
Yep. And then the halves combination, so Lachlan Galvin and then the new recruit, Jerome Luai.
Yeah, this feels an easier part of the ground for them. One of the rookies of the year in Galvin. He can work very well in the halves with his new partner. Jerome Luai, I guess the only question mark, if you were going to find one, is how long it would take him to adjust to a new system in a role that he's only played for about a year. He was kind of a bit part in that role until last season, where he started to play there a little bit more regularly. So, it's not he's not the most experienced in that role and doing it under a new system.
Yeah, it'd be quite interesting. All right, let's look now at the forward pack. All right, so taking a look at the props first up. So Terrell May and David Clemmer, and then in the lock we have Jack Bird.
Yeah, Terrell May probably just going to edge out another of their new recruits in Royce Hunt, winning the battle of those new faces. Pretty tight contest though, and I think Hunt's off the bench will be important. David Clemmer, his form can fluctuate a little bit, but he's crucial to their system, very competitive and an important part of that. And Jack Bird, crossing the Dragons, can play a stack of roles, but has been flagged a long way out over the preseason for the 13, though. So I think he'll end up in that role. Leaves plenty of names led by Hunt sitting just outside the run. Alex Twal and youngster Fainu as well, both could play roles in 2025.
Yep. And then no debates on this one in the number 9, Api Coruscant.
Yeah, another of the ex-Panthers, although not as recently as the other two. He'll be backed up by Tellen De Silva, who'll push for minutes off the bench, but at full strength won't be squeezing out the main man in the hooker role for the foreseeable future.
Yep. And then finishing up the second row is Alex Seyfarth and Samuela Fainu.
Yeah, Seyfarth to start alongside Fainu. The twin departures of Bateman and Papali during the off-season, so they're a little bit thin on depth there. Fainu cemented his place in the back half of last year and should continue to build from there.
All right, I'm rounding out the 17 with the interchange. So this is probably going to change a lot over the season, but we're running out with Fino, Alex Twal, Pole, and Hunt.
Yeah, Fino, versatile, can provide spark when coming off the bench, is a real impact player for them. Twal, a solid and reliable veteran who certainly has been a part of their 13 in the past. Pole, versatile, also got a bit of experience, and Royce Hunt probably the most unlucky to miss out on a place in the 13 and could start quite a bit over the course of the season. Yep. One thing I will anticipate, though, is they'll probably change their bench around quite a lot. With some of the depth options they have, you'll see a lot of fresh faces come through that 17.
All right, so that is our best 17 for the West Tigers this year. So Benji Marshall, looking at that list, he has a little bit to work with there, but there's some other guys that are, I think you mentioned him before, so Charlie Staines still not quite making it into the 17.
Yeah, and the third of the finals as well will be a little bit stiff, but yeah, Charlie's been a regular part of their side, and he's got good depth coverage in 3 or 4 different roles within that lineup, and out of the 17 currently, but could conceivably go straight into the lineup and be useful for them.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, let us know in the comment section what you think of our best 17 for the West Tigers this year. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. We have plenty of NRL content coming out for you each week, and catch all the latest NRL news at zerotackle.com.